Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Nope, I definitely haven't become some sort of meditation guru after this challenge, but I have learned a lot about myself in these past 30 days, and for those of you who are interested, I'd love to kind of share with you what I've learned. I started on this journey of self-improvement and self-realization back in January when I decided to do no social media for 30 days. And initially, I had no intentions of doing any more of those types of challenges, but I quickly became eager to improve in different areas of my life. And by the end of that month, I had compiled a list of 11 more challenges to take on in 2020. One challenge for every remaining month of the year. And that brings us to February's challenge, meditating for an hour every day for 30 days. Before I started, I researched all the potential benefits of meditation, and there are quite a few. I'll put them all on the screen now, all these potential benefits that I found. I didn't come into this expecting to feel all of those benefits, or even half of them, honestly, but there were a handful that I thought would be great to experience and could be very useful in my everyday life. The ones that I wanted to experience were reduce stress and anxiety, have a more positive outlook on life, enhance self-awareness, and more mental clarity. Okay, so before I walk you through my 30 days and the benefits that I did experience, I think it's important to note that everyone's different and everyone's going to go through meditation sessions in a different way. So I would suggest not trying to force any one benefit or come into it expecting one benefit to happen for you because that's the one that you feel you need the most or whatever. I would suggest going into it with just an open mind and more of a go with the flow mindset. Personally, I feel much better doing that because one, other benefits could help you, and if you're just focusing on one or two benefits and those don't happen for you, you're going to feel discouraged and you're going to probably stop earlier than you should. So come into it with an open mind and just keep at it every day, and you're going to see benefits that can help you in all aspects of your life. But that's just my opinion, so do whatever works for you. So let's start with day one. The very first day of this challenge, I'm walking through Balboa Park with my girlfriend and I see this sign, free meditation books. It's like a literal sign for me to go over there and learn more about meditation because frankly, I knew very little about meditation coming into this. I would do maybe 10 minutes a month at most, I feel like, and I don't know. I had to take the sign for what it was, go over there and talk to the guy, and I needed more education on meditation if I was going to make it the full 30 days, for sure. With that said, there was no way I could pass up this opportunity, so I went over to the guy behind the table who actually happened to be a monk and started a conversation with him. We talked for maybe 10 minutes or so, and he was super kind, super generous with his time, and I think we talked for 10 minutes mostly about meditation, but some just life talk as well. He told me about what he does for meditation, how long he meditates every day. I told him about my challenge, and he ended up giving me 2 free books and an invitation to this lounge called Krishna Lounge, in which they do like a guided meditation, wisdom talk, and they give you a free vegan meal, and this is every Thursday, so I figured I could not pass up that opportunity since I got this literal sign on my first day of the challenge, so I ended up going. So I went the first chance I got with my friend Peter and checked it out, and the energy there was just on another level compared to, day-to-day life. Everyone there is so kind and welcoming, compassionate, and super present, super in the moment. So just being around monks and other spiritual people, it makes you kind of raise up to their level in a way. It's different than the people I'm around every day. Not that they're not good people, because they are, but the people at this Krishna Lounge they're on like another wavelength, and it was really great to expose myself to that. So at the lounge, we practiced a different meditation than I'm used to. This is one that's more of a community aspect to it. I think it's great to expose myself to these different type of meditations during this challenge because then I know which one works best for me. But like I said, this one's more community aspect because we're all chanting this mantra that they have posted on their wall, and musical instruments are being played, and we're all getting louder and louder chanting this mantra together. I believe they called it Maha Mantra, and it was pretty beautiful. The mantra went something like this: Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Personally, I didn't use the Maha Mantra again after going to the Krishna Lounge. I found that meditating alone, without other people or without a mantra, just kind of in my bed, laying down actually, is what works best for me. If you've done meditation in the past and it didn't work for you or you didn't like it, I would suggest trying it again, but just kind of mixing things up, because there's a lot of different ways to meditate, a lot of different styles of meditation you can do, and you just kind of have to find what works for you. So here are all the different places I tried to meditate. As you can tell, I meditated in a number of different places, but the one that I went to most often was my bed. It's just where I felt most comfortable and where I could get into deeper states of meditation. I tried a lot of places because I wanted to make sure I found what works best for me. There are also times when I just couldn't meditate where I wanted to, so maybe I had to do it on a plane or in a hotel room, maybe like at a park bench just randomly if I knew I wouldn't be able to do it at home. But I definitely prefer to do it on my bed. That's just my preference. You guys can do it anywhere you like, obviously. That's the awesome thing with meditation, is all you have to do is pop in some headphones and turn on some type of guided meditation or nature sounds. I personally was drawn to the guided meditations because it kind of takes the pressure off me. So someone else that knows what they're talking about, they've been meditating for, X amount of years, they're guiding me through it, telling me what to do, and that just takes all the pressure off me. I just get to sit there, relax, be present, and focus on my breathing. I specifically liked guided meditations that focus on breathing, but there are plenty of other ones that focus on affirmations, Zen, body scans, mindfulness, and so many more. If you're interested in trying out guided meditation, I had the time to look into a few different apps and figure out which one works best for me and which one has the best guided meditations. So I'll give you a quick rundown of each of them and give you an idea of what the app looks like. So Calm is the first app I looked into. It has a really great user interface, probably the best looking app, but there's really not a whole lot available unless you upgrade and purchase the subscription. If you're okay with putting some money towards this practice, then I would say this is probably the app to go with. They have really interesting meditations that are guided by some very respectable people, such as LeBron James. Their subscription is only $70 a year, so it won't break the bank if you think their app would be beneficial to you. Headspace is the next app I researched, and it was the only app that had me create an account right away for some reason, but it was a free account, so it didn't really matter too much. It's similar to Calm because lots of things are locked until you purchase the upgraded version, but I liked Headspace because it had a really great basics course that's available to free users, and it teaches you a lot about meditation. So if you're a beginner, I recommend you start with this app and go through that basics course. Insight Timer is the last app I looked into. It has the most available to free users by far, and I mean an insane amount of free meditations. Like, you'll never run out of them. They have talks, interviews, things for beginners, stuff for children, courses, music, nature sounds, things for sleep, and so much more. It's pretty much endless. Insight Timer is the app that I'm going to keep on my phone after this challenge and continue using for meditations going forward. I already deleted the other two apps. I think Insight Timer just has way more for free users, and I don't feel the need to pay for any of the apps, so I'm sticking with Insight Timer. So these are just the first three apps that show up when you search meditation in the App Store. There are others that I just didn't really look into. I thought 3 would be plenty, but if none of those sounded like the right fit for you, then I would definitely recommend searching for other ones. Going back to the beginner course on Headspace, they have these little 1-minute explainer videos before each course that you take, and one important thing that they taught me was that you don't necessarily need to come into each session with an objective in mind, because then we tend to try and force it, like whatever that objective is. Like I mentioned earlier, if you're trying to reduce stress, then you come into it and try to force it. So instead, we should focus on just emptying the mind and letting things be and letting things like unfold as they will. I think this was an important thing for me to understand early on in this challenge because it opened doors for me to experience benefits that I wasn't even thinking I was able to experience. One of the first things I noticed during meditation is that I have these urges to start planning to do things either later in the day or later in the week or whatever. I'm just planning and planning. And instead of acting on those urges, I just get to sit there and think about why I'm getting those urges and why I want to take that course of action and just why that thought even came to my head to begin with. And following your thoughts in that way all the way down to the deep, deep core of your belief system is a great way to understand why you are the way you are and why you do the things you do. So in addition to those kind of mental benefits, I'm also noticing physical benefits. I notice pain fading away after some sessions. Overall, my body's feeling more relaxed. And during some of the longer 1-hour sessions, I could get to a point where I couldn't really feel my fingers or hands because I hadn't moved them for so long. There was also a day where I had kind of tweaked my back a little bit. And after doing like a 30-minute meditation, that was completely gone and I felt totally refreshed. So the more I practiced, the more I seemed to have these types of instances happen to me where certain pain points in my body just faded away. In terms of other mental benefits, after just maybe a week or two of meditating, I would go through the day and notice that my mind is more clear. There's less thoughts, it's not racing as much, and I was able to just think on what I'm doing very clearly. I became much more aware of where my mind is exactly, how focused I am on what I'm doing, and I had an easier time bringing myself back when I started to kind of drift off in certain directions. Those were the main benefits I felt improvement on in my life in the past 30 days. I also felt improvement in other areas such as less stress, less anxiety, and just a more positive outlook on life. I think if I continue, things will just snowball in a way and improve, and that's more than enough reason for me to continue meditating, even if it's not a whole hour a day every day. If these types of benefits or anything I've said so far has convinced you to look into or try meditation, I suggest sticking around for a few more minutes because I've actually put together a meditation myself that I'd like to guide you through. Before I do so though, I would like to share kind of my setup for meditation, how I get set up prior to meditating. That way you can be as comfortable as possible when we begin. Some things you can do in order to fully experience a good meditation session is commit and fully immerse yourself into the experience. So only focus on the session and let whatever else is going on in your life, let it go. You can worry about whatever it is after the session, but while you're meditating, just be present. Number 2 is avoid direct sunlight. I personally like to be in a very dark room, but as long as you're avoiding like super bright phone or TV screens, or obviously don't look directly at the sun, you should be good. The third one is satisfying your thirst or your hunger beforehand. If I'm hungry during a meditation session, then I can't really focus as well. Same thing goes with needing a drink of water. Lastly, I would consider being alone, or at least somewhere where you can't be disrupted. For me, if I feel like someone can, pass by me or judge me in a way or just interrupt me somehow, then that there's a little bit of anxiety to go along with that. So I prefer being in a room by myself with the door closed. Remember that learning this skill is not going to be a linear thing. You're not going to just get better every single time and see amazing results every single time. So there's going to be setbacks. There's going to be times in your life where you're stressing out more than other times. You're going through more things, and it's going to be a little harder to clear your mind completely and get into a really good, deep meditation. So that's okay. It's okay for negative thoughts to come into your mind. It's natural. None of this means that you're bad at meditation or that you shouldn't do it. It's actually a sign of progress. So think of meditation like you're cleaning your room. When you first begin cleaning it, and you start to uncover all these different like hidden corners of your room, it can feel messier than when you began. So if you're going through this process of cleaning the room, it's going to start to take on a whole new appearance and a whole new vibration. Just know that you're making progress each time you sit down to meditate or clean your room. You're slowly changing yourself and your perspective, even if it doesn't seem like it in the beginning. Okay, now get comfortable, sit down and relax. I'm going to have some calming videos playing while I'm doing this guided meditation. You can look at them until you're ready to close your eyes, or just continue looking at them the whole time. It's totally up to you, whatever feels most comfortable. Use these next few minutes to come back to center and set an intention for the rest of your day. Move into a comfortable position and shift all of your attention onto your breathing, taking slower, deeper breaths than you've taken all day so far. Taking a deep breath in through your nose and slowly letting it out through your mouth. Continue to breathe that way and notice the rise and fall of your chest or belly. Tune into your body, noticing how it feels. Notice if there's anything your body is trying to tell you. Notice any place of tension or tightness in your body, and give yourself permission to relax. Send love to those areas. Thank your body for taking care of you, and give it permission to rest for a few minutes. If your mind starts to wander, that's okay. Gently bring your attention back to your breath and the rise and fall of your chest or belly. Let your breath come and go naturally. There's no need to force anything. Try to picture one thing that's happened today that made you smile or made you appreciative. And just let that feeling fill you up for a moment. Now focus on something you can do today, whether it's for yourself or someone else, that will allow you to continue feeling this way. It can be something small or big, it doesn't matter. Just one thing that you can do to bring that intentional joy to your life. Sit in that feeling of joy and peace for a little while. Enjoy it. Take your time to come out of the meditation easily and slowly. Feel free to stretch if you need it. I hope that gave you some insight into how a good meditation can feel, and I hope it gives you some motivation to continue developing this skill. So there you have it, my experience and knowledge gained from meditating for an hour every day for 30 days. So the last thing I want to do is introduce my next challenge, which is reading/audio booking for an hour every day for 30 days. I read that an audiobook is on average 10 hours, so I guess I could get through 3 to 5 audiobooks in a month if I wanted to, but I feel like audiobooks are a little too easy because you can multitask while you do it. Like you can listen to a book while you're working, while you're driving, while you're at the gym, or just pretty much whenever. So for this challenge, I want to make sure I do 15 hours of reading a physical book, and however many hours, 15 or above, obviously, for audiobooks, because it's a challenge. So I want it to be challenging and not too easy, even though I haven't read a book since probably middle school voluntarily. But yeah, that's my next challenge. Let me know in the comments, maybe books you guys recommend, anything that you've read recently that you really liked. just let me know and I'll check it out. So I'll be posting my progress for this challenge on Instagram. Be sure to follow me over there. I'll have all my social links in the description. Make sure you subscribe here so you see my next challenge and all my other videos. Also, I'm kind of spending a lot of time on TikTok, so check me out on there too. And I think that's it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.